What's up?
Magic Man, how's it feel?
Feels good. Feels good. You know, I think you reach the ultimate high, win the Olympics, lifelong dream, and the World Championship being so close together. And it's a very difficult time, and I'm a competitor. I wanted to compete, but I just didn't want to train between the Olympics and the World Championships. So I think you get guys really hungry and lost, and it's just like it stings. You reach your goal and you go there, and world silver medal is great, but under my standard. I'm not doing this for silver or bronze or participation trophies. At this point in my career, I want to win, and still being that close. And so that eats at me. Being on a single leg up in the air and not finishing, that's really frustrating. I come back, take some time off, and really start to wonder, like, hey, honestly, truthfully, like, am I going to be done? But definitely don't want to end on a loss. I love wrestling. I love to train. It's pretty amazing, like, just the gift that I've been given to obviously further my career, help my family, and make impact on other people. And then to be 2 years away from another opportunity to win a gold medal, that's what it's about. So, getting into this training was difficult again. And, because you're like, what's your why? You've done your whole life. It was like, when things are hard, I'm like, I want to be an Olympic champion. I want to be an Olympic champion. I'm going to get this extra rep. I want to be an Olympic champion. And then you're done. You're like, oh, well, I won the Olympics. What? Man, do I really want to do this extra rep? And I think it was just really a conversation with my wife. And this was probably 6-7 weeks ago. And she's just like, we had a pretty emotional conversation. And she's just like, I just want you to win. Quit focusing on doing this other crap. Just I want you to win, And I think hearing her say that just lit upstairs, like, all right, we're back. We're doing this together. It's a team effort. And the last 6 weeks has been amazing, and I feel like I really got that hunger back. And I think you see it out there. I think, I haven't wrestled in a long time. That first match, not that Valencia really did much. He scored a shot clock point and a questionable push out, and that second period I started getting back into the groove of things. And that second match, that's me, and I think that's the sign of the world that I'm back. And I'm hungry because I lost, and I want to freaking win again. So, now I got 3 months to get ready to go, and there's no secret, that's Yazdani, so he keeps me hungry, and I definitely don't want to lose him again. He's a very tough competitor, and we're going to battle again in 3 months, looking forward to that in Serbia.
Seems like you had a little bit of frustrating with the officiating in the first match, kind of made that match harder than what it should have been.
I think you go on the clock in the first period, not a lot of urgency. It's not really a huge deal, but, given that step out, that's just probably poor decision making on my end. He did a good job, kind of scooting around and trying to play the edge, and I just kind of got a little careless on the edge. However, he definitely went out of bounds, and to not let us challenge that, I think is kind of crap. I feel like I've definitely earned the right to get that challenge. The referee was standing behind me blowing the whistle. I didn't even really know what was going on, but listen, you expect that going to competition, and he's a great competitor. He's hungry. That's a guy I'm gonna battle in the next couple of years to achieve my goal. So, I picked it up in the second period, and sometimes you just gotta go get that takedown. And I knew in this period, go getting that early takedown opened it up, and that's what I was able to do.
And then your M2 training center, renting a charter bus to come up and support
you,
man.
Yeah, it's amazing. I kind of had the choice between Stillwater and New York City, and obviously each one has pros and cons. But to be close to my friends and family, and from my club, just having amazing parents. One of the kids, Dalton Perry, his dad, DJ, has helped me with a lot of things logistically in the club. And he's like, hey, can we get a charter? And it really is just DJ and Brad Pataki, one of our coaches. I'm like, I don't know, let's check it out. And they gave us a charter. It was an amazing price. We would come up here and spend the day, get a block of tickets. That's a very memorable experience, But we had 55 seats, and we sold all 55 to come up here and watch, So that's pretty special, I think, at the M2 Training Center to have a coaches that are involved at high level, Mark and Brad and myself. But the things that we talk about in practice, that's what I'm implementing it. That's what I'm doing out there. The situational wrestling, the choosing when to score, the wrestling, the head and hands defense, that stuff I talk to them about. So they're not just like, I don't know, maybe this will work. Maybe they're seeing it work at the highest level. And, obviously it's a really special thing. I have a tender place in my heart for the club. And, it's made a huge impact on me, and equally as much as I've made an impact on them.
Implementing the things that you implement, you get the Yazdani guy so tired, because you wrestle so hard, and you wrestle in David's positions and not letting him club you, underhook you, push you to the edge, or he does that 2 or 3 times and he gets tuckered out. How do you get that guy so tired that you are able to get him in the Olympic finals with 15 seconds left and run him down with a double leg? You double leg nobody.
Right.
Give
me a little credit. Give me a little credit on my technique. It's pretty solid. But I think, just anyone that wrestles me, anyone, they're on threat the entire time. they're on threat the whole time. So that's just a challenge that I've had since a young age is how do you continue to open people up? And, Yazdani, he's made changes. Early on it was, let's go wrestle me. In the Olympics, they had 3 years game plan for that match, and they had a good game plan. It lasted to the very end, and it was very difficult. And then this last one, I didn't have that pop and fire and excitement to go get that takedown I needed, and he controlled me a lot more than any other matches. So he's done a good job making adjustments. And now I have to make adjustments. And that's just the beauty of a rivalry at that level of two of the best guys in the world, pound for pound, and it's just micro adjustments, not changing the world, but one thing. I just want to make people wrestle in my positions. When that happens, lots of points get scored, and that favors me.
You missed a foot sweep when you had the leg up there.
Yeah.
That was like Andy and I were just talking about it. It was a fluky thing.
Yeah.
You alluded to it earlier. It was like, that was the difference in the match. You get that, it's over.
Right.
You win the world title. And I thought you looked pretty good in the match.
Yeah, I think, I just think, the difference in living that lifestyle that I live to be the best is it's all in. And just between the worlds, the Olympics and the worlds, it wasn't there. That fire wasn't there, and I'm in on that takedown, and I was tired from the first whistle, and I just, I pride myself on having good technique, and in that moment, I kind of didn't have good technique, and it sucks losing a match like that, and I had chances to do it, but now I have the opportunity to go fix that and finish correctly and get to that leg, and it's going to be a battle. There's no taking anything for granted or lightly. He's hungry, but now I'm really hungry, so it's going to be a battle. I'm looking forward to that.
That conversation with your wife, what did that open your eyes to?
I think, being 31 years old and I've achieved everything I wanted to achieve in the sport of wrestling. I take that back. I wanted to win 4 national championships, and I didn't do that, but I was pretty close. And, I think she just kind of sees that, like, dude, this is a big burden on our family. Like, when you're training and you're recovering and all the things that it takes to be successful at your level, at your age, you're taking away from time. If you're not present with our family, then what are you doing this for? And I just like, yeah, you're right. It's not a one-man team. It's a team of both of us, and we got 2 young kids. And I think ultimately I want to continue to set myself up for my future, when I am done wrestling and getting caught up in those opportunities as well. So, ultimately, like, winning is hard. I have a small window of 3 more years to get the most out of what I can do. And the world, everything can wait. I've been very blessed to have a lot of great things set up in our lives. So now, I just think it was like one of those Rocky win moments. I told her, I'm like, babe, we had a Rocky win moment. And she's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you're telling me to go do it. And that lit a little fire in my ass that I needed. And then I had really productive training. And she's why I do what I do and why I can do what I do, because she picks up all the slack. And, really grateful for her.
Now, you talked a little bit about the not step out, the officiating, but the rules themselves have changed in the course of your career. Does that have any effect on your thinking, or?
Well, I remember the day that they changed from the 2 out of 3 period to the match. I remember waking up that day with a handful of texts like, hey, how does it feel to wake up and now know that you can be the best in the world and the rules favor you? And I remember those texts. And at the time, I wasn't there. I wasn't the best in the world, but they gave me a little hope. That 2 out of 3 periods was it was leading me down a not productive path. I was just trying to find ways to win matches. And as we talked about, that's not what I do. Now, in these rules, you're rewarded. You put the time and effort into scoring points. You go get off the mat. And so, yeah, I think the rules have changed for the better. I feel like the best guy wins almost every time the matches are out there, And I tell my kids all the time, like, you can't rely on little things. You got to go take control. But in that match, things weren't really going probably the way I thought they would, and you just got to get your hands locked and finish takedown and then open it up, and I've been gifted a lot of offensive opportunities, so I just got to make the most of those.
Beat the Streets is a organization to develop youth in the city of New York. You came here before as an exhibition, you tear your ACL on the same stage.
Right.
Was that in your mind at all to come back here?
I think early on in that first period, I just was like, "Hey, let's build in this match." He's a flurry guy, and that's what happened when I wrestled Drew Foster. I got caught up in an early flurry thing. I was going to cradle him and pin him in front of everybody and go crazy, and got in a scramble, and I tore my knee, and it's just a really tough learning experience. So there, I'd say, let's build as the match goes. Let's really focus on control, and I really controlled every single situation of those matches. So it's I have the ability to score a lot of points, but I also have the ability to not let guys score points. I think that's something I've had some evolution in my career as I've gotten a little older.
Was that a necessary evolution for you to have that knee injury? I'm sure you were like,
No.
no, I'd rather not have that, right?
No. I mean, I think, you know, that gunslinger mentality of like, you score 10, I'll score 12, which is a kind of what I built a lot of what I do on. I can always do that, but it's not necessary. You know, I can really shut guys down and not really give them an opportunity to score. But that, you know, hurting myself, that was the first time I've ever been injured in my career, and like that. And, you know, just, I don't put myself in the same situations I did. You know, I think sometimes you think about living the other day, and it's not about trying to win every position as much as my pride wants to, but you can save yourself by being a little smarter on the front end of those things.
Experienced group going over there, but now you're a veteran. Then you have a guy like Zilmer who just won.
Did he really?
Yeah. What would you tell him, like a new guy going over to the big stage?
We have a great team with a lot of leaders and a lot of experience. You know, it's pretty remarkable to see at every weight class. You know, we have some new guys. You know, some fresh blood. You know, with Seth Gross and you know, Yanni's still really young. Zane's had experience, but hasn't quite, you know, been able to get through that. And I think we've really seen him change, you know, for the better. His best out of 3 was pretty amazing, and now Hayden. But there's no secret. You know, it's not like, what do we got to do to medal? It's, this is what we can do. This is what we can focus on and control. And Coach Zadek does a great job of getting us ready and prepared. And, you know, Serbia, this is the new quad. This is when the new guys come up, and then this is when the, you know, whatever you want to say, the older guys, you know, they are seasoned, you know, and getting out there. So, you know, we're pretty blessed, and it's just about going out and executing. And our goal is win a team championship. You know, 10 medals, team championship. That's my goal for the team, and let's go do that.
So a couple times you've mentioned M2 and the kids. You're at the point where you're coaching kids that are on world teams.
Yeah.
How does seeing their experiences positively impact you as a competitor?
Oh, man, it's so awesome. You know, I had a conversation, you know, I have these conversations with these kids, you know, pretty high level. You know, I definitely hold them to an expectation of not it's not about excellence, it's not about winning, it's about expectation of going out and doing your best. You know, and I try and lead by that example. You know, our coaches lead by that example, and the kids are doing that. You know, it's a big deal for the club to have, you know, back-to-back world team members. You know, last year we had Grace Stem and Levi Haynes on the U17 team, and this year KSAC made the team. But we had lots of guys right in the mix. You know, and that just elevates the club and everyone around them. And these, I mean, I tell them, like, and parents ask me, like, these are world team opportunities. Like, that's a big deal to go through that. I mean, having that adversity of having to wrestle a 2 out of 3, and back-to-back years our guys lost and had to come back and win 2, you know, and it's amazing, you know, but they put the time in, and they make the decisions to go out there and implement the strategies and go get it done, you know. So it's on them, just trying to help them in any way that I can. And they're all, and just to see them here, I mean, that's just, it truly is amazing. And I love those kids, so it's pretty awesome.
A lot's changed from college, but one thing remains. You're still running out to Taylor Gang by Wiz Khalifa.
Yeah.
Is that song still getting you pumped up?
Yeah, it's hard. Every time I'm like, how should I change it? I try and think about these different songs. I'm like, there's just nothing that gets you going like Taylor Gang. You know, it's fitting. I don't know if it'll be a song that will come out. I mean, I like, you know, there's some new songs that have come out that I like, but there's nothing resonates like that one. You know, it's pretty special. You hear that beat kick, and it's like, let's freaking go. Let's go rip some heads off and get it done. Make a world team, win a world championship, win a big gold medal. You know, that's what it's about.
Could we ever see you come back to Ohio? Say Tom Ryan retires in the next 5 years, or they offer you $2 million a year, would you come back and be the head coach for Ohio State?
I mean, the world is changing, but, you know, I love Penn State, and I really love doing what I'm doing. I have a lot of flexibility to, you know, with these kids, and college coaching, it's a different beast. You know, I'm never going to say no to anything, but listen, if I'm going to coach somewhere, it's at Penn State. You know, that's where my heart bleeds, and they've provided so many opportunities as coaching staff. So if that ever was available someday down the road when Kale's done winning 30 national championships, you know, maybe that would be something that would be a pretty great opportunity.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.